Have you ever felt like the world moves too fast, too loud, and too chaotic for your quiet nature? For Aaron, a young introvert with a passion for painting, the noise of the world was overwhelming. Growing up in a bustling city, he often felt invisible in crowds, his voice drowned out in conversations. People misunderstood his quietness as weakness, and at times, Aaron even started believing them. But what they couldn't see was his unique gift, the ability to notice the details others missed. In the middle of chaos, Aaron could find beauty in the mundane. The way sunlight danced on raindrops, the rhythm of falling leaves, or the silence of an empty park bench. His world wasn't silent, it was filled with observations and emotions too deep for words. Yet Aaron wasn't sure how this quiet strength could matter in a world that seemed to reward the loudest voices. Could someone like Aaron, who preferred silence over noise, ever leave an impact? Aaron's refuge was his tiny studio apartment, where he spent hours blending colors on canvas. To him, painting wasn't just a hobby, it was his way of speaking. While his peers networked, attended loud parties, or posted their vibrant lives online, Aaron stayed behind, immersing himself in creating art that spoke to the heart. Each brushstroke told a story of moments he cherished: the stillness of dawn, the comfort of solitude, the quiet resilience of nature. But self-doubt was a constant companion. What's the point? Aaron often thought as he stared at his unfinished canvases. He had submitted his work to countless galleries, only to be met with rejection. The emails were polite, but cold, each one feeling like a blow to his fragile confidence. He began questioning whether his voice mattered at all. Yet deep inside, a small voice urged him to keep going. Could this voice grow louder than the doubts? One evening, after months of battling internal struggles, Aaron decided to take a chance. He photographed one of his favorite paintings, a park bench under a night sky, illuminated by a single street lamp, and posted it online. It was a quiet piece, much like Aaron himself. At first, the post seemed to vanish into the endless sea of content. Hours turned into days, and his doubts began to resurface. Perhaps his art wasn't enough. Then, something happened. A notification popped up. A stranger had left a comment. "This painting feels like home. It reminds me of sitting with my dad on quiet nights." Aaron read the comment again and again. It was the first time he realized that his art wasn't just for him. It had the power to touch others. Could there be more people out there who needed his quiet world? Encouraged by the response, Aaron decided to share more of his work. Each painting was a reflection of his quiet soul. Images that captured solitude, peace, and introspection. To his surprise, people began to notice. His social media page, once empty, started filling with followers. Comments poured in from individuals who found solace in his art. People who felt overwhelmed by the noisy world saw in Aaron's paintings a reminder to pause and breathe. But as Aaron's confidence grew, so did the challenges. A renowned art critic stumbled across his work and wrote a scathing review. Aaron's paintings lack complexity. They are too simple, too ordinary. Aaron felt crushed. The critic's words echoed the doubts he had fought to silence. He began to wonder if his art was destined to remain in the shadows. Should he listen to the critic or trust the quiet voice that had brought him this far? The day of the gallery unveiling arrived. Aaron stood in the corner, heart pounding, as visitors entered the room. His painting towered over the others, commanding attention without shouting for it. Slowly, people gathered around the quiet within. There was a hushed stillness as they took it in. Aaron watched nervously, unsure of their reactions. Was the silence a sign of disinterest? Then something unexpected happened. A woman approached him with tears in her eyes. "Your painting, it feels like my life," she said. Others began sharing similar sentiments. Even the critic who had dismissed him before stood silently before the painting, lost in thought. Finally, the critic turned to Aaron and said, "I was wrong. This is extraordinary." Aaron's quiet persistence had spoken louder than words ever could. But what did Aaron take away from this moment? Aaron realized that being an introvert wasn't a barrier to success. It was his superpower. His ability to observe, to feel deeply, and to express emotions through subtlety was what made his work unique. He learned that the world didn't need more noise. It needed moments of quiet reflection, the kind he could provide. Aaron began to embrace his nature, using it as a source of strength rather than a limitation. He started sharing his journey with others, encouraging fellow introverts to celebrate their gifts. He spoke about the power of listening, observing, and creating with intention. Aaron's story became a beacon for anyone who had ever felt unseen or unheard. But how could his message inspire even more people beyond his art? Aaron's story is proof that introverts possess unique strengths, patience, thoughtfulness, and the ability to create meaningful connections in a noisy world. Success isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about staying true to your essence. Aaron's paintings taught people to pause, reflect, and find beauty in the quiet moments of life. If you've ever felt like your voice doesn't matter, remember, Aaron, you don't have to shout to be heard. Sometimes the quietest voices echo the loudest when they come from the heart. The world needs your perspective, your authenticity, and your quiet strength. So, what masterpiece will you create with the power of your own quiet?